The most dangerous version of a woman is the one who has finally decided she owes the world nothing but her best self. Let me explain what I mean by dangerous. Not dangerous to others, dangerous to every system, every relationship, every narrative, every expectation that was built on her remaining small. Because here is what happens when a woman reaches that place where she has done the work, healed the wounds, confronted the patterns, released the relationships that were draining her, rebuilt herself from the inside out, and arrived finally at a version of herself that is so settled, so grounded, so completely at peace with who she is. She becomes impossible to manipulate, impossible to guilt into shrinking, impossible to convince that she is too much, impossible to keep in a box that was always too small for everything she actually is. And that woman changes everything she touches. Not because she is trying to, not because she has an agenda or a mission or a plan to disrupt everything around her, but simply because a woman who knows who she is, who is completely comfortable in her own skin, who requires nothing false and performs nothing artificial, has a presence that rearranges rooms. She walks in and something shifts, not loudly, not dramatically, not with an announcement, just a shift. The energy changes, the conversation deepens. The people who are operating from ego suddenly feel exposed, and the people who are operating from authenticity suddenly feel seen. That is what a woman in her full power does to every space she enters. She does not demand respect. She simply makes it impossible to offer her anything less. Drop a crown in the comments if you are becoming that woman right now, because I want to celebrate every single one of you who is doing the work. You deserve to be seen. And here is what the journey to that version of yourself actually requires. It requires honesty, the kind that looks at your patterns without flinching, that acknowledges what you have been doing, what you have been accepting, what you have been telling yourself, and decides to do differently. It requires patience, because this version of yourself cannot be rushed. She cannot be performed before she is ready. She arrives on her own timeline, and every attempt to shortcut the process just delays her further. It requires courage. The courage to disappoint people who were depending on your smallness. The courage to outgrow relationships that cannot hold the full version of you. The courage to sit with the discomfort of becoming someone new, even when the old version felt safer. And it requires commitment, not to perfection, not to having it all figured out, but to the daily, quiet, consistent practice of choosing yourself, choosing your peace, choosing your growth, even on the days when it would be easier not to. That is the work. And the woman who comes out on the other side of it is the most powerful version of you that has ever existed.